the aero loose. You know, they could take a little bit of wedge, put some wedge in that right rear, raise that corner of the truck up and see if that'll help. But limited on your options when you're aero loose.
Green flag back in the air. Kyle Busch and Matt Crafton were going to drag race, but Kyle Busch won it right as they crossed the stripe. So Kyle Busch, Matt Crafton 1 and 2, Austin Dillon on the high side, and Ron Hornaday down below in the 33. Hornaday making some ground up now.
Say that 88 truck has looked pretty strong from the drop of the green flag.
It has. I like his line. He wasn't shy about going right up to the top right off the bat. And, you know, everybody starts diving for the bottom. There's certainly plenty of room to race up top.
We've seen the momentum being carried through on quite a few drivers taking that high line. One of those being Elliott Sadler up in the number 2, that blue number 2 back 7 trucks back.
Austin Dillon going to take a look at Matt Crafton for second.
It's a strong truck as well. He's able to make moves down on the bottom. But, Phil, you know it's just so hard to complete those passes down there. That big, long line of trucks drafting, you have to really fight that air by yourself. And it's hard to make ground on the straightaway. But in the turn, it's a shorter distance. So it looks like maybe he's going to make the pass or no?
No, I think he's not going to be able to get him cleared. He needs a little help down there. This is not a whole lot unlike Speedway racing. He needs a little bit of help. Now he's going to pull back in line behind Matt Crafton.
And here comes Hornaday now. He gets the run off of the backstretch and turned into turn 3, and Hornaday goes down to the bottom. Elliott Sadler continues to stay right up against the wall in that number 2.
He's going to move around the outside of the Wolfpack Reynolds Chevrolet of James Buescher. And how impressive has James Buescher been in the 3 races since he went full-time in the Truck Series? 2nd, 4th, and 6th. 3 wide going in 1.
We'll see how they do. Jason White on the outside. It looks as though the 5 of Mike Skinner drops back just a bit.
Nelson Piquet Jr., my spotlight driver in the 15 truck.
Got him a couple hundred miles of experience here yesterday in the ARCA race. So getting warmed up for these NASCAR truck races. That Nelson's just doing a great job learning the ropes here in NASCAR.
I asked him if there was enough similarity between the ARCA car and the truck. He said they are so much different. Obviously the big hole that these trucks punch in the air and less horsepower. He said they're so different. I'm not sure that either one helps the other one.
But he learns the track. He understands what the tires do when they get hot. There is a lot that he can learn, but certainly the vehicles are quite a lot different. Heard Hornaday talking about being very loose, but he's able to hang right down on the bottom of the racetrack. A looser truck can run the bottom better than a tight truck, so I think that's why he's able to make ground and keep up with these 2 lead trucks. Look at Crafton. He needs a good run. After 8 races, we got a blown engine.
46 of Chase Austin.
What a tough break. So optimistic coming in here. Krista talked about him with Walgreens, and
there's the caution.
Racing for a cause, and unfortunately it looks like it's going to be a short day for Chase Austin.
I was talking about Matt Crafton. After 8 races last year, Phil, he led the points. This year, back in the 8th, and desperately needs to get his season turned around. We've seen Johnny Sauter have some really strong runs, but Matt just hadn't been on that same pace that he was a year ago.
So the caution comes out for the 2nd time. This one is for the 46 of Chase Austin, slow on the racetrack on lap number 12. So Randy Kaiser brings the pace car back out onto the racetrack.
You know, we're a third of the way probably into a pit window here, because the guys are not able to refill these trucks after qualifying. Some of the trucks are talking about only being able to run, you know, especially on this first run, 32 or 33 laps. So especially if your truck is not handling well, I think this is a great opportunity to come in. This racetrack's very, very wide, a lot of room. You can come in, you can make your way back to the front, you can pass people here. Some racetracks, it's difficult to pass. This one you can pass.
I think if you come, though, you're going to need enough fuel, Phil, where you're going to maybe want 2 tires. You go throwing a bunch of gas into your truck with your older tires, it's going to change the balance of your truck. So maybe if you get a little bit of gas, you might get 2 tires to go along with it.
This could be follow the leader.
Certainly.
Usually is.
If we see the 18 of Kyle Busch make the hard left turn onto pit road, you'll normally see the field follow behind. And so that will be the question as they come out of turn number 4. It looks as though Kyle is creeping down toward pit lane.
I wonder if he fakes his way down here. Will everyone fit and go back to the racetrack? No, he's coming, and they're all coming.
He makes his way onto pit road, and that means the field will follow. Let's go to pit road and Chris DeVota.
Timothy Peters has momentum. He started 12. He's up to 7. The call from Jeff Hensley would be for fuel only. You see him there in the pit stall. The only issue they're having, possible radio issues. He said get another radio ready just in case. Ray?
Definitely going to get fuel only for Kyle Busch. They were talking about doing an air pressure adjustment for sure. Matt Crafton said he's very happy with the performance of his truck, and for Ron Hornaday, they're going gas only this time too. They wanted to do a track bar.
How about the problems for Matt Crafton, the crewman falling down, and it looked as though the gas can left the pit stall.
Well, it did, but he didn't carry it with him, though, so I'm not sure what NASCAR, they're going to take a look at it. They're watching our pictures. Let's take another look at it now. It was not attached to the truck when he left. Watch this now. Well, it actually was stuck to the truck, and the gas man did a terrific job of holding onto that can so he did not leave his pit stall with it. So NASCAR is going to have to take a look at that, and whether they deem that equipment leaving the pit road or not, we're going to find out very soon.
You see the crew guys are holding the truck back so that Hornaday doesn't roll forward while they're trying to fuel it up. Makes a pit stop a little bit faster. But something went on over on the right rear with the inspector. Did you see that, Phil?
I did. I'm not sure exactly what that was about.
I'm sure that right rear tire was in the box. That's something that he would have been checking, and it looked like it would have been in the box.
Yeah.
Oh, they changed their air pressure? We're hearing?
That's what we're hearing, that he's going to have to come back in.
That would be a way to get that thing tightened up a little bit, take a little bit of air maybe out of that right rear tire, and perhaps that's what they were trying to do.
You know, there's a right front air pressure minimum, so I don't know if it's a situation that you can hear the official right there saying they cannot change the pressure, and the other official was nodding his head yes.
Okay, but just clarify this. We talk about air pressure adjustments all the time. Is it that they can make the adjustments prior to bringing the tire over the wall?
On the tires that they put on the truck.
But the ones that are on the right front have to meet a certain amount of pressure, Rick. That therefore you can't be adjusting them once they're on the truck, because you could go below that without the official being able to see what you're doing. But it looked like they were working on the right rear.
We see again the 33 of Ron Hornaday back on pit road. He has been told to come back to pit road because of making that air pressure adjustment.
Was there a valve stem cap left off, possibly?
That could have possibly been it. These trucks are required to have a valve stem cap on each wheel.
What are you trying to do, Doug? Tell us.
We're hearing that they can adjust the pressure on the cold side of pit road, which is towards pit wall, but not on the hot side, out on the right side of the truck.
We'll be back for the restart for the VFW 200 from Michigan. Welcome back to the VFW 200 from Michigan International Speedway. Our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR. New Fuel Max tires help you have a winning fuel strategy. And that fuel strategy might come into play. We just had some pit stops. Now, Phil, Ron Hornaday came onto pit road. We talked about a violation there, Phil.
Yeah, he actually came down pit road. We talked about the fact that you cannot put air in any tires on pit road. The cold side of pit road is behind pit wall. Certainly you can do air pressure adjustments as long as you don't go below the minimum right front air pressure. But let's go down to Ray Dunlap with more on this story.
Well, Phil, what they normally do is change air pressure on the tires that they're about to put on the truck, but they didn't change tires on this pit stop, so Doug George was trying to make an air pressure adjustment in the right rear. Part of the reason that some of these teams are sitting on tires is the fact that this weekend the rookies actually have an extra set of tires. So a driver like Austin Dillon has one more set of stickers down here than Hornaday will have. That's because our final practice got rained out. So some of these crew chiefs trying to think through the idea of when they'll use their tires and can they make adjustments. But the answer from NASCAR was no, you cannot make an air pressure adjustment while the truck is sitting on pit road.
Take another look at what happened so we can clarify this. Gentleman coming down here working on the right rear.
Putting gas in.
Yeah, he's
just trying to get a little bit of air out of that right rear tire. The official saying, I don't think that was exactly right.
He was obviously very little because he wasn't there very long. But let's also clarify that Austin Dillon does in fact have probably more tires that he's able to use. Each team was allowed 4 sets of tires for this weekend. The rookies got a 5th set of tires. But they have to turn in that 5th set of tires. They physically don't have any more tires, but the fact that they were able to do all that practicing on that practice set that they had to give back to NASCAR, they actually have 4 usable sets, where most of the teams would only have 3 usable sets because they did most of their practice on that one practice set.
So they're cleaning up the racetrack. Again, the reason for our second caution was the 46 of Chase Austin having an engine expire on lap number 12. We had pit stops. We had problems on pit road. And those violations have been taken care of. We're going back racing when we come back to Michigan.